Hey everybody, it's Eddie J on Crypto. Hope you're having a good one. So there's a lot going on today, but there's a lot going on that's going to affect the next few days and possibly the next couple of weeks. First up, Chairman Powell is on the Hill beginning today and will be there through tomorrow as expected. But I want you to think about how he talks. Chairman Powell is the kind of person that when he speaks, you've got a lot to unpack because he doesn't necessarily give you a straight answer on anything, right? He'll talk, he'll send you in one direction, you'll be feeling good. Next minute he says something and it reverses how you feel and it'll just go like this. So the market's going to react the same. So I'm expecting more sideways movement or lateral movement until everything finally gets unpacked. Also, remember, Alameda is going after Grayscale for $9 billion. Why? Because they say that's how much money they've got tied up in Bitcoin trust shares. And Grayscale saying, no, that's a little misguided. I'm sitting back and I'm drinking my tea and I'm saying to myself, misguided? Is it really? Or are you in a bad place and don't want to kick up the $9 billion? I think it's more along those lines. Either way, it's going to be messy, right? I mean, Alameda FTX has got to go after the money. Grayscale's got to respond. That's going to get tied up in court for at least a little bit. Hope most likely they'll come to some kind of a settlement, and Alameda slash FTX customers won't get back the full $9 billion. Also, side note, what's his name? Ray? This guy and his team that took over, at FTX, what a job. They billed $38 million for the work that they're doing just for January. What? Just, I get it. There's probably a lot of unpacking that needs to go on. But I want you to contemplate that there is a lot of rancor over how much CEOs make. And I get it. This is not a natural CEO situation. It's just somebody coming in, managing the bankruptcy and all that good stuff. But still, $38 million. Excuse me. Just whoa. So what's next? Next up is the judge in the Voyager case, the Voyager bankruptcy. The judge in the Voyager bankruptcy yesterday said to the SEC, basically, the reason for you not liking the Binance US deal for purchasing the assets of Voyager, not good enough, son. Go back to the drawing board and come back with something that makes sense. What you've got now does not make sense. So basically, I think what he's really saying is, BS. I'm calling your BS, right? You thought this was going to be a slam dunk because you're the SEC. You say you don't like it, and kaputs. The judge is saying, well, I've got to hold to a higher standard, right? I've got to make sure that the people that invested in Voyager can be made whole, and that will supersede anything that the government says, and period. So I think that's what caused Binance to say, that initial, hey, we're against the deal. That's what caused Binance to say, whoa, hey, we don't want that kind of noise. And I think what the real deal is that Voyager might be seeking to have anonymity for those involved in the deal. And from a Binance perspective, because they didn't do that mess. That's not them. We're not dealing with that. And the SEC basically trying to say, no, we don't like that part. And I'm kind of like, what? Who else is there to purchase the assets of Voyager, right? Think about this. If there's nobody else there to purchase the assets of Voyager, the people invested in Voyager will never get anything back. See where this is going? So SEC, if you're here to protect the people, are you really doing your job by saying no to this? Like, who else is there to buy those assets? Who? I mean, Justin Sun of Tron? Like, what? So I'm just sitting back. Again, I'm sitting back and I'm just saying to myself, what really is the issue of the SEC saying no to the sale of the assets to Binance, other than he doesn't like Binance. Who, by the way, if you didn't know, Binance.us tried to hire Gary Gensler in their early days. That's how connected Gary Gensler is. He's not that far away from any one of these companies. So when I look at this situation, I just kind of go, are you kidding me? Just, if there are multiple suitors looking to purchase the assets to make these customers whole, then I can understand, you have a leg to stand. You could possibly have a leg to stand on, hey, we don't like this particular deal and this is why. But that's not what they're saying. What they're trying to do is flex some muscle and be like, well, the SEC just doesn't like it. Well, why? Well, we just don't like it. But you got to tell us why. And the reasons that they have thus far have been shite. So the judge said, go back and fix yourself. Go figure it out. Interesting to me. Now, we have another problem. That's a macro event. The previous story I just mentioned about Alameda, that's a macro event stemming from the whole FTX debacle. Here's another macro event. Silvergate's reach, or Silvergate's, fallout reaches, Dapper Labs, who's already got their own problems. Look at my previous videos, you'll see what I mean. Anyway. So Dapper Labs says, hey, we got to stop ACH transfers. Why did we stop it? Well, we stopped it because Circle stopped it. Why did Circle stop it? Well, Circle stopped it because of Silvergate. Do you see how that trickle down actually works? Sorry to use that term, but that's what it is. So right now, what I'm looking at is, how fast can payments processor BCB Group, they're based in Europe, I believe, how fast can they start offering those kinds of services to fill the void left by Silvergate? The next one is, I'm paying attention to Kraken Bank. It's not a bank yet, but they say it's on track and coming. So then the question becomes, well, wait a minute. Is Kraken Bank going to be here and be able to service other customers than Kraken? Right? So, okay, obviously they're going to do, Kraken transfers. But are they going to open up their business to everybody else? Because that would be a huge win for the entire organization. So yeah, they took it on the chin with a $30 million hit, paid out to the SEC. Oh, just really pisses me off. Anyway, if they were to do that, I think that's a game changer, at least for that organization, and it could possibly fill a void. There are a few banks out there that you don't realize that could also fill the void, but we'll see what happens if they decide we're going to, become a bank and do this kind of stuff and open ourselves up to the cryptoverse. Next batter up, Mastercard, notches another win. Now, I said the other day that Mastercard and Visa were not necessarily pulling out of crypto, but I don't see them actually opening up any new lines of business for crypto, which means that debit cards are still in play. Guess what? Mastercard signed a deal with Bybit. And I just reported yesterday that Bybit also had to stop their bank transfers again. They didn't say it was because of Silvergate, but I'm pretty sure it is because of Silvergate. So you have Mastercard notching another win. And I'm going to get into I'm going to get into that one a little bit too. And Bybit being able to come back with, hey, you can't do those kind of transfers, but you could still use your crypto with this debit card. Cool beans. That's awesome. Now, I want you to take a look at, how debit cards work. Okay, how debit and credit cards work. There's a middleman between the merchant and the customer. Okay, and that middleman handles the transfer and they push money back and forth. Cool, got it. Awesome. But that means that the merchant does not get all of their money. So I think it's great that Mastercard and Visa are running out here and cutting all these deals and being able to say, well, wherever you see Mastercard and Visa accepted, you can use your digital assets. That's great. It's convenient for the customer. It's not really all that convenient to the merchant, who still has to deal with this middleman. Well, guess what? If you actually are a merchant and you want to do crypto, you clearly want to do crypto, get your own crypto account. Give us a call at Rebel Reach, and we can actually help you create your own direct customer to merchant setup. So we're currently hosting websites where we actually do that, right? And the reason why we do that, we have 3 ways that, a merchant can get paid: traditional credit cards via PayPal, and native crypto. What we mean by native crypto is we're not man in the middle. For all of that Really cool e-commerce site. We have a little old lady that's selling jewelry on our platform. And if it's easy enough for her, it should be easy enough for you. But the idea is that merchants need to start to learn that if they go direct to the customer, they're not paying a middleman. No paying middlemen. Collect all of your money. And the fee that we charge is a flat fee for hosting the website. Again, point to point. It's between you and the customer. Customer sends you the money. When merchants wake up to that, give it a couple of years. When more and more merchants start to realize, what is a credit card company doing? They're taking on crypto, making the cash equivalent transfer, and then sending us the cash. For that convenience, they get to pay a certain amount of money or get to extract a certain amount of money from the merchant. Cool? Not so cool. Merchants are always looking for ways to spend less money or collect more of their own money. And crypto is the way to do it. You just have to know how to do it point to point. And it's not that difficult. We've got the solution. Anyway, sorry for the shameless plug, but guys, gotta pay the bills, right? I got kids. Anyway, this is Eddie J on crypto. Hope you have a good one. Bye-bye.